Hey everybody, so now I'm gonna go on to talking about another relationship I've just recently had, which, by the way, now I'm single and I'm done with relationships for a while just because I just wanna be single, not focus on any boys and just focus on the here and now and whatever. But anyways, so I was with this guy Arturo, who I actually knew for a long time. We knew each other since we were kids. When I was in second grade and he was in first grade at Canterbury. So that's when we met, and I wasn't attracted to him back then because I was I was boy crazy, but I was more interested in the boys in my same grade as me. I mean, I was in life skills, and so was he. He was in life skills too. We were both in life skills. So we were both in the same class together. It's in our class it would be first grade, second grade, and third grade together. And then when I was on to fourth, fifth, and sixth grade, those grades were together in the life skills classroom. But because I knew he was younger than me, I was more interested in the boys that's actually in my actual grade in the classroom, not just, even though for majority of my time I was the only girl in the class, which is but yeah, I was more interested in Kenny and Phoenix. Those are the two boys I was more interested in. But I guess most boys, Arturo had a crush on me. I didn't know this at the time. I only knew there's only two boys I knew had a crush on me: Edward and Jacob. Jacob, when I was in third grade, had a crush on me, and Edward, when I was in sixth grade, he was in fifth grade, had a crush on me. Both of them were younger than me, so I wasn't interested in either of them either. But yeah, but I didn't know that Arturo had a crush on me. So I was into Kenny and Phoenix and any other boys I considered my boyfriend, because I was boy crazy and I was immature and I was a kid. So yeah, and so I graduated from Canterbury after sixth grade. I went on to Centerville in seventh grade. And then I went on to Claremont for 8th grade because I heard they were going to have uniforms in 7th grade. They're going to have uniforms in Centerville, which I went. So that's why I transferred schools to Claremont. And I guess Arturo went to Centerville when he was in 7th grade. So it was we could have been in the same school again, but we didn't because I was stupid and I moved on to another school. And then I found out that 7 didn't even have uniforms. They had uniforms, but they didn't even enforce it. So yeah, but I was so against uniforms. I was dumb. Yeah. And then I went on to high school at Worcester Tech, and I started going to safe homes, and then years later, I think it was during the time I was at Sam State and I came back home for break. It was during the summertime when Arturo messaged me about, he didn't even message me, he commented because I made a post about safe homes on Facebook. And so he asked about what safe homes is, and I told him what it was about. And so I dragged him the next week to safe homes. He went to safe homes for a couple weeks, and then he was going to visit family, I guess, in Ecuador. And so that was it. We didn't see each other again. We were just friends on Facebook. And then in March, after the whole thing I went through with Josh, and I was still reeling over the loss of a friend, because I felt I lost Josh as a friend. We were, I told you all of that relationship stuff in a series of videos I made about him. And he still hasn't talked to me now. I really miss him. I hope that he will, but I'm not gonna hold my breath anymore since now the school semester have started. We're in a new school year. He probably is busy, so he's gonna. Even though he had unblocked me, I don't think he's gonna talk to me anytime soon because he's gonna be busy. But anyways, so back in March, I was still kind of depressed over the fact that me and Josh have been talking, and I was hoping that he would talk to me soon. Arturo hit me up on Facebook asking if we could hang out, and so we hung out that Saturday, and it was good. It was a good day. He came over, he picked me up, and then we went all out to Antonio's and had pizza. So we had half vegan cheese and half Hawaiian. So the vegan cheese was for me, Hawaiian's for him, and so we talked. And he was saying his type of girls, and he's not interested in Caucasian girls. Hello. And so I was oh, and in a jokingly kind of way, like, oh, you're not interested in me then. But then he was like, no. I forgot exactly what he said. But it's like, but kind of like reassuring me, like he would be interested in me or something like that. And then after we left Antonio's and we talked a lot, we went to that entertainment, and we walked around and we saw my friend Richard, who I knew from high school. They met each other, and then we went to Elm Park, walked around it a bit, and then we went to this Irish festival they were having, and like Arturo asked if I'd be interested in like us dating, and I was like, I wasn't sure because like I just went through that relationship with Josh, and like I'm going through a loss with like a friendship and all that, and I wasn't ready going to another relationship so soon. And like we were talking about making plans for like the next night to go see Birds of Prey at Showcase Cinema, which wasn't a date. I don't consider that a date because we weren't actually dating yet. And so he brought me home. He walked me to the door like a gentleman, and then the next night he came, got me. We went to see Birds of Prey, which by the way was awesome. I love Birds of Prey. Honey Queen was badass. Makes me want to be her for Halloween this year because she doesn't need the Joker. I don't need any man. Like, yeah, I feel like Honey Queen. And like after the movie, I believe I did a review for that movie too on this channel as well when I first saw it too. But yeah, after the movie, we talked. Me and Arturo talked a little bit in the car. And then he was driving me home, and then like I made a comment like, I know what I want to do for Halloween. I want to be Harley Quinn for Halloween this year. And he was like, "Well, what do you want me to be?" And I was like, "Oh, okay." So like we talked about maybe Phantom of the Opera, because like I've been dying to do Phantom of the Opera for Halloween for a long time. Like I want to be Christine, and like whoever I'm with be the Phantom, because like, I'm in love with the Phantom of the Opera. But yeah, and so it was kind of cute. We went flirtatious and all of that. Obviously, we both like each other. And he drove me home, walked me to the door, whatever, like a gentleman again. Which, again, always surprised me because no one has ever done that before. And so we hung out that whole week. I went over to his house. And the way we would look at each other was like, kind of like, oh my god. It's like the way that Joshua used to look at me. Which, it's like, melts my heart and like give butterflies in my stomach and all of that stuff. Then the next week, I had found out that I didn't get accepted to Sam State for graduate school, which I was devastated about. I cried. And so the following Monday, I came over to his house. We watched 5 Feet Apart, which is a movie that Cole Sprouse is in, which is great. And also Rico from Hannah Montana was in, which is also great too. We watched it. And like, at the end, towards like the end of the movie, like, we just kissed. We just couldn't help ourselves, and that's how we got together. And so like at the end of the week, like we would see each other like after my classes from Queen's sake and whatever. And like at the end of the week, that Saturday, he came over to my house, and like then we just made it official on Facebook. Well, I did anyways. He never changed his Facebook status. And so that was like the last week we were able to like spend time together to see each other before the state shut down. So for a few weeks Governor Baker, because I'm from Massachusetts, Governor Baker did a stay-at-home order in Massachusetts. So we were forced to stay home for a few weeks. And so during that time we FaceTime each other. During that time I was kind of confused with my feelings because I thought I really liked him, but it's like it was kind of hard because we were FaceTiming, like there was no actual connection, and like it felt like he was like a lot of high expectations for me as his girlfriend to be funny and all that. And then after the few weeks we were able to see each other again, and we were together. And I didn't feel anything. And then we saw each other like after a few weeks later. We saw each other again on our first date. I was kind of nervous about it because like I wasn't sure how I was feeling. But then like at some point I was like, oh, I really like him, and like I felt a connection, and I was like, in love with him. And then a few weeks later, we haven't for a few more weeks we didn't see each other because I kept busy with working and everything. And then we finally had our second date because before our first date we went to see we went to the park, but we didn't even consider that day until our first date, our first actual date. But anyways, a few weeks after that, we finally saw each other for our second date. We went to a new cafe, and then from everything they was telling me, it really made things hard for me to feel a connection with him. It was a lot of red flags, and it really made me feel kind of unsure about us and everything. And so I felt kind of unhappy being with him. I wasn't sure how I was feeling. And then finally, because he wouldn't have the time to see me as much as he was seeing me, I just decided to break up with him through text, which I hate doing. I never doing that. I never believed in doing that. I never thought I would do that, but I did that because I knew that we were not really. I wasn't sure when we would see each other again. So that's what I did. I broke up with him through text. And now I'm single and I'm not ready to mingle because I want to take a break from relationships and just now I have a job. I'm working at Market Basket and I'm taking classes at Conseil, going to get my certificate in early childhood education. Just going to focus on all of that. Plus, during this whole crazy pandemic style time is not really a good time to be dating anyways. And as I try to get myself out of Josh and let's be focusing on maybe someone else and all of that, but it was, I don't know. I mean, maybe someday I'm open to it. Maybe someday we can try again after this whole pandemic thing is over. I don't know, but I mean, I don't really regret it. I just really feel bad I had a hard time having a connection with him and having a hard time having feelings for him, even though in the beginning I did felt something. So I just wanted to talk about that. And I know in every relationship, in every I have my own experiences, and I'm hoping that my relationships experiences could help other people with their own relationships, so they can know that they have been through the same thing, and they would know that I've been through it too, and therefore they will not feel alone. But yeah, so I'm not gonna be dating anyone for a while, even though there's a guy at work that's cute. I love his accent, but I'm gonna focus on work. I'm gonna focus on myself and my mental health and classes and everything. And hopefully after when the pandemic is always over and we can just go back to normal, then I will just be interested. Or at least until after Valentine's Day, because I want to at least be single until Valentine's Day, just so I can just not worry about whether or not the guy would have a Valentine's Day date with me or buy me something or whatever. I don't want to just focus on self-love. So yeah, so I just wanted to talk about this video. I'm glad it's not too long. I mean, it was long, but at least it was I can able to fit everything in one video. So yeah, see you in another video, and I hope you enjoyed me talking about my experience. See you next time. Bye bye. Take care.